Crash, and you can call me Crashy. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, then welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you see here today. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video called Being Bisexual in a Heterosexual Relationship. And I really enjoyed that video. I loved making it, I loved being able to talk about being bisexual, and I liked the response that I got back generally. So I've decided today, as you might have guessed, to make part 2. So today, what I primarily want to talk about is my relationship with the LGBT community and how that has changed since I've gotten married. So first of all, like I said in my last video, but I'd like to reiterate it, I have been identifying as bisexual since I was about 13 years old. So I'm going on 10 years as being out and knowing and identifying as being bisexual, and that is 10 years of being part of the LGBT community. And I would definitely say that the LGBT community has changed a lot in the last 10 years, and I would also say that my relationship with the community has changed a lot in the past 10 years. To start off, when I did come out as bi, I really was not aware of the LGBT community. I only knew a couple of people who did not identify as heterosexual, and the people that I knew did not talk about being gay or bi or lesbian as a community of things. It was very personal, it was very kept within the bedroom, and that is it. So when I first came out, it was very difficult for me to find other people that identified as bisexual or identified as lesbian and gay, and it was difficult for me to find people that I could talk to about that. It wasn't until about a year after I came out initially that I met other people who were part of the LGBT community and who told me more about it and told me more about their experiences with being treated as someone who is part of LGBT. But something that I noticed very early on, and that I still think is very prominent to this day, is that people tend to focus the most on L and G of the LGBT plus community. So being a 14-year-old bi girl and dating different people of different genders was very difficult for me because I did not feel like I was fully part of the LGBT community. When I was dating women, I noticed that I didn't feel lesbian enough, and when I was dating men, I noticed that I didn't feel straight enough. So it was a little bit challenging for me to really feel like I belonged to this LGBT community. Over the years, though, I did get much more comfortable with this, and I did start feeling much more like I was part of the LGBT community, mostly through talking to people online, being parts of different forums, watching videos, watching movies, a bunch of different things that really just showed me that the bisexual part is just as important as everything else in LGBT, which of course all of them are incredibly important. I also noticed that over time people started to be much more accepting of bisexuality, and they were starting to put less pressure on me to be lesbian enough or straight enough to be one or the other, which was great. I like being accepted for who I am and for fitting into the box that I've decided to put myself in, regardless of what other people think. So that was wonderful. And I really enjoyed being a member of the LGBT community to the extent that I was. I didn't feel like I was too involved or too left out either. So that's my general thought process on like high school, essentially. That's how I felt in high school. I felt like I was part of the LGBT community, but I wasn't the highlight of it either, I guess. On my campus, it seemed to me like bisexuality didn't exist as much. So I again started to feel like I was not lesbian enough to be part of the LGBT community. And because I was in relationships with men throughout college, I really feel like my bisexuality just wasn't something that was accepted, relevant, enough. I think enough is the word. I definitely didn't feel like I was enough in college to be considered part of the LGBT community. I would definitely say that this changed for me a lot when I was a junior in college because I was on study abroad in Spain, and I was not in a relationship for the first half of that. Obviously, I met my husband halfway through, but for the first half of my study abroad is when I really started to feel very comfortable with who I was and to realize that there is no such thing as having to be enough of something, that I could be bisexual whether I was dating a man or a woman, or no one, or kissing a man or a woman, or no one, or anything else. It is all in here, and that was what I really needed. I needed to have a couple of months, happened to be in Spain, where I did a lot of self-reflection and started to think a lot about who I was, what I wanted for my life, how I identified, and the importance of certain labels to me. And I would definitely say that those couple of months in Spain was also when I felt the most strongly like I was part of an LGBT community. Yeah, definitely. Now that I think back even more, like, yes. That is when it was the strongest for me. Two of my really great friends in Cáceres, one of them was bisexual also, and one of them was gay, and I was bisexual, and it was lovely, and another one of our friends was lesbian, and so I felt like I could be part of something, and that I was definitely enough, and that I didn't have to be accepted into the LGBT community. It's just that I identified as being part of this community, and therefore I was. It was such an uplifting time for me and experience for me to really understand that I didn't have to meet other people's expectations to be bisexual. And I think that those formative couple of months have really affected how I have grown as a person over the past couple of years, and how my identity as bisexual has grown in the past couple of years, especially with getting married to a man in that time. So if you don't know, I got married last summer. We're almost a year married. That's insane to me. But I got married to a man last summer, and since then is when I have really been focusing on making YouTube videos, and I used to do live streams. Not so much anymore, I should really get back to that. And posting on Instagram, all of this stuff happened since I got married, essentially. And during that time, especially on live streams, I have really put myself out there as being bisexual, as being part of the LGBT community, as wanting to be part of this LGBT community, and as being very supportive of anyone else who is part of the community. I have really tried to express that as much as physically possible, I think, and my identity as a bisexual woman has grown a lot more in this time also, because boy, there are some beautiful people out there. But I have noticed since getting married that there are a number of people who ask me if I'm just here to support people, or how I still identify as bisexual even though I'm married to a man. And I also talked a lot in the last video about how it really doesn't matter who I'm married to or who I'm in a relationship with. My attraction to people is still the same. But all of those experiences of people asking me if I'm really bisexual, or if I'm just here to support people in the community versus being part of the community, all of that has really affected how I view the LGBT community, and also made me feel like bi visibility needs to be a lot more apparent. Like, bi visibility really needs to exist to a higher degree than it does currently. Since getting married, I've noticed that some of my feelings that I had in high school and when I first entered college of not being enough have tried to start creeping back into my mind recently, and I've been really trying to not let that happen, because I know that I'm enough, and I know that even though I'm in a relationship with a man, it doesn't affect anything. So I know that I'm enough, but there are times when the LGBT community makes me feel like I'm not enough. I have noticed online that there are more people than I thought that are very hostile towards hetero people, or people who present as hetero. And I know that when I'm walking down the street, I look like a straight woman, and my husband looks straight. He is. But it's been a little bit frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. It has been a little bit frustrating that I don't present more bisexual. There is part of me that is a little bit sad sometimes that I can't look more like that, that I don't present more like that. And I don't like the idea of always perpetuating the idea that men and women have to be together. I hope that's not what I look like, but I think it's what I look like most of the time. But that's not to say that I would change anything about my relationship. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I love being with Bennett, and I love Bennett, and I love everything that we are. It's just that I have noticed that there are times when I don't feel as much of the LGBT community as I have in the past, which is a bummer because generally I really like this community. So yeah, anyway, this video has gone on for way too long and I'm not sure that I actually made a point in it, but here you go. If you like these videos, then please let me know by leaving a like and telling me down in the comments. I think that I'm going to start talking about being bi and promoting bi visibility a little bit more on this channel. So I hope you like that. And I was going to say turn off restricted mode so that you make sure you can see my videos, but if you have restricted mode on, you won't see this video anyway. That's all for me for now. I will see you on the internet. Adios.